Good morning students and Happy New Year to all. Hope you enjoyed your Diwali holidays very well and celebrated the festival of Diwali with all the safety measures and precautions. So from today we will start our second term syllabus from chapter 10, that is reaching the age of adolescence. As in previous lectures or previous chapter, we had said about the word reproduction and the reproductive organs which are present in human being as well as in animals. So, in today's lecture, we will discuss about when the reproductive period starts and what are the changes that taking place during that reproductive period. So as we all know, human beings and certain animals are capable of producing their young ones. So every individual has to grow to start or to produce their young ones. For the reproduction, certain changes that can be occur in human body during this period. So, we can say that a human being is able to reproduce their young one after a certain age. So, there is a regular growth that is taking place after the age of 10 or 11. So, after the age of 10 to 11, there is certain or drastic changes that can be take place in human body. So, the period of life when the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity, that changes or that state is called adolescence. So, adolescence is the period of life when the body undergo changes leading to reproductive maturity. So in nutshell, we can say that when a body is ready to reproduce their young ones or preparing the body for reproduction is called the age of adolescence. So as we know, the adolescence age starts from the age of 11 and its end up to 18 or 19 years. So when a person is between 11 to 18 years, that stage is called adolescence age, or we can simply say that teenagers. So the boys and girls who fall under the category of 11 to 18 years, that are called adolescents or teenagers. There are number of changes that can be occur between 11 years to 18 years. So that changes that mark during adolescence is called puberty. So what is puberty? Puberty is the changes during adolescence. So puberty ends when an adolescent reaches the reproductive maturity. So when the reproductive maturity is attained by a boy or a girl, then the adolescent or the adolescence period is completed. The period after the adolescence period is called adulthood. So the period before the adolescence is called childhood. So we can say that as you all under the category of adolescent period. So boys and girls who fall under the category of adolescent period, they are capable of producing their young ones or their body is preparing for the reproductive maturity. So you have to know or you are going through that period. So there are certain changes that can be occur in your body. So lot of changes that can be occur. So here the changes occur at puberty. Number one, increase in height. As you see, the student who are studying in 5th, 6th or 4th standards are very short in height, or the other one who are in 11th or 12th class, they have increase in their height. So at the age of 11 to 18 years, there is certain or drastic change in height take place. In comparison to boys, the girls grows faster. So the rate of growth varies. So height depends on genes, which means the height of a person is inherited from their parents. If the one's parents had bigger height, then obviously the child has the same characteristics of that height. So to attain a good height, you should eat a balanced diet. So right adequate amount of food taken is also impact on the height of boys and girls. So we can say that increase in height in adolescent period is also the change or mark of puberty. You can also calculate the how much height you have during your adolescent period. For example, there is a table 10.1 or 10.2 in your textbook. You can see there. There is a chart that's showing the boys and girls height according to percentage. So for example, if you are at the 14 years, the boys should have height 94% increase or the girls has 98%. And on the other side, when the boy or girl has 18-year-old, so then their height is 100% completed. Increase in height is 100%. There is no chance of increase in height. So we can calculate our height according to our years. For example, your present height is, for example, it is 100 centimeter. The percentage of full height, which means the chart showing the height according to your age. You can put here and multiply by 100. So you can get the actual height what should be yours for your age. Next is change in body shape. There are lot of changes you also have seen in your body. For example, in boys, there is a muscle growth take place. Their shoulder gone broader. But on the other side, the girls have waist become wider. So these are certain changes that occur in boys and girls. So boys changes, boys box or larynx grow. Here is a boys box in boys and girls. They become grow. So in boys, the boys box become larger. In some boys, you can see that box become prominent. It can be easily seen from outside. That is called Adam's apple. Or also the voice of some boys become deep. So they have deep voice. So their voice become hoarse after for 1 to 2 weeks, but it get normal after few weeks. Next, in girls, the larynx is very small. It can't be seen from outside, but their voice is pitched. So they have high pitched voice. So these are certain changes that occur in boys and girls. Next is increased sweat and sebaceous gland. So sweat and sebaceous glands are the glands that are produced by endocrine glands. So the endocrine glands are ductless glands because they are not coming out from duct, but they are flow or secrete directly in the bloodstream. The secretion in boys and girls of these glands are very high. You can see the boys or girls of this age, that is 11 to 18 years old, they have lot of acne and pimples on their skin or on their face. This is due to the large secretion of these glands. Next is development of sex organs. So male has sex organ, that is testes, as we studied in previous lecture. Female has ovaries. So testes and penis are developed during this period, or the testes produces sperms. On the other hand, in female sex organ, the ovaries produces mature egg that is releasing monthly by the female body. So next is mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. During this age, the boy and a girl become self-conscious. They have to know about their self very deeply. So there is change in their thinking. Also, they become more independent and spend time in thinking. Their brain has greater capacity and increase insecure while adjusting changes. So, during these changes, you have not to insecure yourself while changing. So, change is a law of life. So, growth continues take place. So, these are the changes that can be occur by yourself also. So, you have to understand these changes but don't be insecure by these changes. These are the changes that can be occur to all the boys and girls who are between 11 to 18 years. So these are the changes for the reproductive maturity of your body. So next is secondary sexual characters that can be changes during the adolescent period. So mainly what are the secondary sexual characters? The features that help to distinguish between the male from female is called secondary sexual characters or features. For example, in boys, there is a growth of facial hair, there is mustache or beard, there is development of hair on chest. But in girls, the grow of hair under arm, the region above thigh or pubic region. So there is development of breast also. So these are the changes that can be controlled by the hormones. So what are the hormones? So hormones are the chemical substances that is secreted from endocrine gland. So we have the two hormones here to discuss. Number one, male hormone, and number two is female hormone. So male hormone is testosterone. This is already discussed in the previous lecture. It is reproduction. So testosterone is released from testes when the puberty is onset. But in female hormones, that is estrogen, there is a development of breast, mammary glands. That is mammary gland is milk secreting glands. That is the secretion of milk developed inside the breast. So these are the hormones. These are controlled by the gland. That gland is called pituitary gland. So pituitary gland is the master gland that control the secretion of these two hormones. So here this is the our first chapter of second term, that is chapter number 10 of class 8. So I will tag the PDF along with this video. You can write the work in classwork as well as homework notebook. Thank you.